guys, how are you doing today? This is the second day that I'm vlogging, which is still very uncomfortable to do, and there are people walking behind me right now. I really have to get used to this. I really have to get okay with being on camera because I am not okay with this whole situation going on here at all. But today has been very uneventful, so it's already about 1 o'clock and I have not vlogged anything today because all I've done was just normal stuff like yoga and running and cleaning. But I was thinking a lot about the fact that I was cleaning my room because I really needed to, really badly. And I have found, and I think that this is pretty consistent with a lot of people who deal with mental illness, that the worse you get, the kind of, like, as your mental health declines, I feel like your, not hygiene, but maybe, your, like, just self-care really falls and declines, and it's not good because then you feel worse about yourself because you're not taking care of yourself. But it makes sense, like the correlation there, right? Because if you don't feel good about yourself, why are you going to feel like you're worth taking care of? And I know that's very, like, something that's been present in my life for a long time, and I definitely always notice it. Like, whenever I start doing really poorly, I stop cleaning my room, and it's really gross. And I mean, I still like shower every day and stuff, but like I won't like take the time to like really wash my hair or brush my hair or anything. And I always see these posts on like Tumblr and stuff about self-care and like all these things like make yourself a cup of tea and read a book and use a bath bomb and da 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 da, and like all these things that are really like cute and adorable for self-care. But I really feel like sometimes self-care is really something as simple as like picking the clothes up off the floor that have been there for weeks, or doing the dishes that have been piling up for forever, or washing your hair, or I don't know, shaving your legs, doing something just that seems so little and something that most people do on a daily basis. I really feel like are the most, I was about to say the most best, but that is the worst English in the world. I just feel like they're the best ways to really take care of yourself beyond just like all the cute like fluffy pillows and fuzzy socks and all this adorable stuff. Because like it's a vicious cycle, because when you start feeling really bad, you stop taking care of yourself. But then when you stop taking care of yourself, you feel worse because you're not taking care of yourself and you're not getting things done that need to get done. And where you live, in your workspace, everything is cluttered, which is anxiety provoking, and it's just a vicious cycle. And I'm trying to be very aware of that and fixing it. And it's just my thought for today. Right now I am, speaking of self-care, right now I am at the park because today is finally slightly, I don't want to say warm, that would be a little overreaching. It's about 40 degrees outside, but it's not below freezing. It is not 12 degrees out right now, so I'm going to go for a walk. I'm very excited. That's another thing that I find so important and I found has really just raised my vibration significantly, is that since the same time I started practicing yoga, actually, I think, like August, I've been going for long walks every single day, and I've been making sure, and I know a lot of people don't have time, and I'm very lucky that I'm in the situation that I am in because I'm a student, so I have a lot of free time, but I really feel like making time to go for a walk or just to get outside every day is really important, and my depression gets a lot worse in winter, and I know a lot of people who even don't suffer with depression just get in a really bad place during the winter time, and I think that being outside is really, really important. And so I've made it like a commitment that no matter how cold it is outside or gross outside it is, unless it's dangerous, but no matter what, I'm trying to get outside every single day and walk, and it's really been great, and it's a good time to meditate and reflect and work on kind of being alone with yourself without any music or podcasts, because that's another thing. Being alone with yourself is so scary, and I'm so not good at it. It's like, I don't know, like even when I'm doing yoga in the morning, certain times we'll hold stretches for a really long time if I'm doing more of like a yin style yoga. I tend to stick to like vinyasa because I don't have to sit in the vinyasa is more dynamic. I don't have to sit in a pose and think for a while, because just being alone with yourself, especially when you don't like yourself, is so scary, but it's so important because so many of us, especially in the world that we live in today, where we have little computers that we hold in our hands that we call phones, you're always connected to something and you always have some type of distraction from what's actually going on in your head. And I mean, as great as these things are, it's like if you're trying to like figure yourself out and discover your best self and learn to be okay with yourself, you can't constantly be plugged in. So that's something I've been trying to work on. Right now I'm at a point where I'm still listening to podcasts when I'm walking, but I'm trying to like slowly like wean myself off of it so I can just like walk and not be connected to something and be alone with my thoughts. But my thoughts are very mean to me, so I don't really like being alone with them, but I'm working on it. So yeah, I've been talking for 5 minutes. I'm gonna go walk. Enjoy the montage of pretty walking video stuff. All right. Hey guys, so it's a bit later now, but I'm outside again, walking, as I do. So I just wanted to check in, and I'm listening to this podcast right now on the Ritual podcast, which is my absolute favorite. You probably can't hear me. There's people. Oh my god, okay. Okay, so I'm listening to the Ritual podcast right now, which is my favorite podcast, and I recommend everybody go check it out. But he has Khalil Rafati on it right now, and honestly, this interview that he has is like one of the most amazing things I've ever heard in my entire life. If you don't know who Khalil Rafati is, he is the owner of Sun Life, which is a juice bar in California, but like an empire. And he has this amazing story, and it's just amazing and incredible and aspirational, and I'd recommend everyone go listen to this. But he's talking about passion and heart, and how heart really trumps all when it comes to creating the life that you want. And I think it's so true and so special and so important. And really, I feel like if you really believe in something, and if you really have that passion that you know that you're going to do something and you're going to accomplish something, it's going to happen. I really believe that you can really manifest the future that you want. And I feel like we live in a world right now where there's two sides, because there's one side where everybody is, I have trouble like breathing while I'm talking because I think I get overexcited. Like, one side of it is that you can do anything that you believe that you can do. And you can do anything because we live in this age where the age of entrepreneurs, and it's amazing, but at the same time, it's very much like, oh, the economy is in shambles, so make sure that you get a job that is make sure that you get a job that's safe. And I don't know if any of this is making sense. I really should be talking this at home where I don't feel awkward. But I really wanted to talk about it now because I'm super fired up. And he just came out with this book called How Not to Die is Michael Gerber's book. I Forgot to Die. And I'm so excited to read it because this guy's story is absolutely incredible. And really, like, guess who has been rambling for a solid 8 minutes only to find out that her phone ran out of room and none of it recorded. So hello again. I don't know where it left off. I think it left off with me saying I was really excited to read Khalil Rafati's new book called I Forgot to Die, and I got into this whole big passion speech about following my dreams and helping others, and the camera didn't record it. So I don't know what that means. But anyway, so yeah, it's really like the most incredible story. To sum it up, he came from a really weird family background with a lot of abuse, and both physical and sexual, and he wound up basically on Skid Row in California. And this is so awkward. He wound up on Skid Row, hooked to drugs, really bad. Like, this guy was gonna die, and he completely turned his life around and created this empire that he loves and lives this healthy and vibrant and amazing life, and is such an amazing human being who does so much for the community. And he's just absolutely incredible, and it just really, and he's just somebody that, like, it's not just someone who's so high above you that you're like, oh, well, they had everything laid out in the cards for them and they were able to accomplish what they did. This is someone who really just, like, built his life from, like, ground zero and created something so amazing, and that's what I want to do. And he started talking about how without heart you can't have success, or, like, passion is really what drives success. And I really want to believe that, because I think that we live in a world today that you're kind of told that, you know, like, something, whatever you're passionate about isn't going to be your career, it's going to be your hobby. Like, if you're passionate about playing music, that's not going to be your career. You're just going to do that in your spare time, which is just so ridiculous, because we only have one life. Hello, plane. We only have this one life, and why should we be wasting it doing something that doesn't fulfill us 100%? And I just have to believe that if you're truly passionate about something and you keep throwing yourself at it, eventually it's not all going to fall into place for you. It's not that easy. But I really think that if you keep trying, you're going to find something beautiful. And yeah, I'm going to go now because there's so many people. But that's been my speech for the day. Also, I really need to get home, like, right now, because I put vegetables in the oven to roast, and I've been out a lot longer than I meant to, so. Hey guys, so it's the next morning. I forgot to end the vlog yesterday. I went to my friend's house and I didn't get home until like midnight, so then I just kind of like went to bed and passed out. So I just wanted to end it here so it didn't just abruptly end. I'm watching Hannah and Derek. You can't see them. So yeah, good morning and good night. I don't know. Talk to you tomorrow, which will be today in my world, but tomorrow in your world. Okay, bye.